Hello, this is Dr. Cole Woolley, and this lesson is called Understanding GCMS. This is part of a series regarding frankincense from Oman and Somalia and how to differentiate them. This is an experience that I went through in 2010 to be able to figure out the uniqueness of Oman frankincense compared to Somalia frankincense. They're both great frankincense, but I used analytical tools, analytical laboratory instruments to figure out the difference. It's a great story. Well, let's start by talking about understanding GCMS. First of all, in 2010, I was commissioned to go to Oman and build a frankincense distillery. I went knowing very little about the frankincense trees, the frankincense oleo gum resins, just about anything, except for I was an analytical chemist and I knew a lot about analyzing essential oils. Now my goal was to distill the local frankincense into the essential oil. So you can see here the little distillery that I built, and I was able to produce 1 to 5 kilograms of essential oil at a time. Now, this story requires a little bit of geography. So you can see on the northern part, that's the Arabian Peninsula, and you have Yemen and Oman, the western part of Oman. Those green dots are where the frankincense trees grow. On the Arabian Peninsula edge of Oman and Yemen, the frankincense that grows there is called Boswellia sacra. Now let's go down onto the Horn of Africa into the land of Somalia. These provinces are called Somaliland and Puntland. And the green dots there show where Boswellia carteri frankincense trees grow. You can see that they're distant from each other, and so you would think that they would be different, naturally. But unfortunately, in the world of commerce, they claim that Boswellia carteri from Somalia and Boswellia sacra from Oman are the same. Well, this project is about showing that they are different. This is what the oleo gum resin looks like when it comes off a scar in the tree. This happens usually every springtime in between March and May. And for 8 weeks, this resin comes out of the tree, and every 2 weeks they collect it. Here's another example of the resin coming out of the tree. Now, it's called oleo gum resin. The oleo means oil. The gum is part of the product that makes it sticky. And then the resin is a hard substance. All 3 of those are used by the tree to create a scab to heal the wound that was created. In 6 months, the wound totally heals under the scab. The scab falls off and the tree is not harmed by this process. It's been going on for 5,000 years this way. Now this is what the resin, the oleo gum resin, looks like in the market. This is Boswellia sacra resin in the open market of Salalah, Oman. Notice these are like teardrops. They are kind of hard pieces. When you pick them up and smell them, they smell great. This is the very first Oman frankincense that I distilled. You can see it in a cup with the water. And then the very top of the water, there's a golden layer of Oman frankincense essential oil. This is Boswellia sacra essential oil. Now let's look at the GCMS. This GCMS instrument provides me, the analytical chemist, a lot of important information about the essential oil. Now you need to be aware that the word on the street about GCMS is not always true. Let's look at some of the things that are being said about GCMS. First of all, GCMS determines if an essential oil is pure and natural. That's false. The GCMS cannot do that all by itself. The GCMS determines if an essential oil is the highest quality. Yes, the GCMS can help, but all by itself, it cannot determine whether an essential oil is the highest quality or not. Third, GCMS demonstrates that a company is transparent. I would agree. It helps to show that the company is being able to say, here's the results we have, and we're giving them to you to look at. Well, that's transparency, but all by itself, that's not enough. Remember, GCMS all by itself cannot tell whether an essential oil is pure or whether it's partially synthetic or whether it's the highest quality. Lastly, the GCMS demonstrates that a company can be trusted. I would say to some degree this is true. GCMS demonstrates that a company can be trusted. To a degree, this is partially true. If the company is showing you information about the essential oil, then you should be able to trust them. However, most people cannot read a GCMS report. In fact, 99.999% of the customers do not have the experience, do not have the education to interpret GCMS reports. Let me show you what it takes to understand and interpret GCMS reports. First, you would have to take basic and advanced organic chemistry courses. Second, you need a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a PhD. This will help you immensely. Third, you need 5 to 10 years of experience operating a GCMS. Fourth, you need to take an advanced course on analytical chemistry to understand the GCMS. So there's 4 things that most people in the population do not have. Let's look at some more requirements. 5 to 10 years of interpreting GCMS reports would be required. You should also be skilled in MS fragmentation and retention indices. You should also have experience on farms and distilleries throughout the world where essential oils are distilled and collected, and also where aromatic products are harvested. Knowing this information helps you as the analytical chemist. Next, you have to have an understanding of the chemical markers, the components that need to be in an essential oil. If these components are all here, then the essential oil is of the highest quality. And lastly, you need to have an understanding and experience looking for synthetic fragrances, synthetic chemicals placed in essential oils. Now, with all that, those are the requirements for understanding and interpreting GCMS. Quite daunting, of course. This is an outline of what a GCMS looks like. It's actually 2 instruments. You have a GC and you have a mass spectrometer, and you put them together and you have a GCMS. In the next few videos, we will talk about GC and then we'll talk about MS, so you can understand how they work in principle. Now, this video has been all about understanding the value of GCMS, what it can and what it cannot do, how it takes an experienced analytical chemist to understand and interpret GCMS reports. And all of this is to help you understand how I used analytical instrumentation to help differentiate Oman frankincense from Somali frankincense.